Yeah?
Yeah! Hello, everyone. Welcome back. 913 odd times I've done this now, or whatever. Like, it's still like to every start, I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, hope this works.
I mean, I feel like we should be okay with it by now. 17
would
years
be.
plus.
If the technology never updated or changed, I think we'd be okay.
Dude, it's so easy now compared to how it used to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So easy.
Ellen asked me before we started, is it gonna show up on the recording if I start the washing machine? I'm like, you could come in here and hit me in the back of the head with a bat, and I don't think the microphone would pick that up if it's not my voice. So You're fine.
Yeah.
That's technology now.
She's going to do that at some point, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's why I got the back view up so I can see her coming.
Good. She's just going to slowly rise behind you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Outside the Cinema. I'm so stupid. Welcome back to Outside the Cinema, your weekly source for cult movie discussions. We're your hosts, Bill and Chris, as we have been for many moons. Mm-hmm. 2 films this week. We are doing the 1993 reinterpretation of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, simply titled Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Sergio Martino film, which I thought we had covered at some point, but I couldn't find any history that we had. So I was like, all right, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Screamers, which is a title that makes no sense.
That is true.
Also known under the title Island of the Fishmen. What did we say? Was it 79? Something like that?
Something. Yeah.
We'll get into the details when we get into the weeds momentarily, but we haven't done a Martino movie in a while, so it was figured a good time to revisit one, and I happened to come across it on Tubi, so I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not a whole lot going on in my world. Still waiting on stuff to drop. What about you?
We're like gearing up for a Halloween push, and we're trying to refine everything as Spectopia. And I'll be in the Halloween parade as long as my group is marching. I'll be there. I got the whole costume finally all done.
Sick.
All of it. So I want to do a little video, like a promo for Spectopia, but I want to film it like Sam Raimi doing Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, where like you grab for the gear and you strap it on, and it's like those quick shots, and then it would end with like zipping the top of the jumpsuit up, but enough to see the ghost character that I have that I'll be wearing, and it's just one of those things, you know.
Sounds goofy, and I love it.
Even Ghostbusters need ghost friends, and that's canonically real because we saw it happen. So.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what's going on.
Sweet.
Not much.
No bullshit this week. Right to the meat of the show. I'm fine with that. We never do that. We always try to do like a 10-minute segment at the beginning where we just start talking about whatever, and then I'm fine with getting into it and getting it over with.
Yeah, no, that's good. I got a long 2 days today and tomorrow, so I'm all for it.
Did get a message through our Patreon from our good friend Andrew. I wanted to read. Andrew has been a fan of the show and a member of the Patreon for many years. If you would like to be like Andrew, you can go to patreon.com/outside the cinema. So he sent in a post here that says, "It's really bizarre. I've seen Psycho Cop 2 before, but not the first one as well as you guys. I remember thinking it was awful, but instantly became my go-to candidate for an actual necessary remake." And I was like, all right, cool. And then he followed it up with another message. Actually, scrub that. Having heard your review, I realize I've always mixed this up in my head with another shitty horror cop franchise that I've seen, Maniac Cop 2.
Cop, yeah.
Without seeing the first one, it was okay.
Jeez.
Not enough to interest me in seeking out Maniac Cop 1, though.
Yeah.
Psycho Cop 1, on the other hand, is absolute shite. Yeah. Fully agree with you on that review. That's the one I always think could be remade with a few tweaks and has potential to be somewhat good. As for Psycho Cop 2, there's absolutely no way I'm bothering with that shit. Even if it is, quote-unquote, better than this one.
Yeah.
Because, quite frankly, that's a bar that's set so low already. So low.
Oh, God, yeah.
I know that there's at least 1,001 other things I could be doing with my time that I will enjoy more. That's our good friend Andrew, who wrote in through Patreon, and you can do that on
Very
Patreon too.
nice.
Just send us a message if there's something you want to share with the rest of the. If you would like to share with the rest of the group, we will take care of it for you. But Andrew, thank you for being there with us as always. Yeah, this week on the show, Body Snatchers, 93. I feel like this is kind of an overlooked version of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
get
think
talked
so.
about very often. When's the last time you saw this before us watching it for the show?
Well, I probably rented it back in probably 94 or 5 when it was out, or when it hit cable. So sometime in the first 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, I know I definitely rented it back in the day, and I feel like I've seen it maybe once or twice since then. But I'm not positive because I do like Gabriel Anwar, who was in a bunch of, kind of direct-to-video and low-budget things around this time. Well, let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
There's something in the air, and it feels like fear. There's something in the night, and it seems like terror. There's someone in your bed, and it looks like you.
Mommy?
Life will be simpler now. The only thing missing
Mommy?
will be you.
Mommy?
What's the matter, honey? What's the matter? There's Mommy. She's right there. What happened?
I'm seeing people at the infirmary exhibiting paranoia. People afraid to sleep.
Get in bed.
Afraid of family members.
Let it go!
People afraid of themselves.
We gotta go right now!
Oh, Marty, let's get out of here.
They're out there. They're everywhere.
We're gonna get out of here, Marty.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna run? Where are you gonna hide? Nowhere. Because there's no one like you left.
Body Snatchers. The invasion continues. They'd kill to be you.
So now I'm not sure if this is considered to be a sequel, or if it's a retelling of the original Body Snatcher story by Jack Finney.
I think it's taking the idea of it and kind of doing one of those side character kind of things. It's happening in another place as well, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Because there's the main story that everybody knows with what's his face pointing,
Donald
and
Sutherland.
and Lambert screaming and crying, and that's in where, San Francisco, if I remember
I
right.
believe so, and that was what, 79, 78
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah, which was the second version because the first one had
1950s version, yeah.
yeah, he had the CEO from UHF in it. I forget his name, but I love him as an actor. But yeah, I think it's just a based on, so like for this sort of based on an idea, it's just people are replicating, and here's how they do it.
Yep. So the original novel of The Body Snatchers was written by Jack Finney. This version, Larry Cohen and Stuart Gordon both worked on the screenplay for it, along with Raymond Christie. And it's directed by Abel Ferrara, which I think is a very interesting thing, because obviously we know him from King of New York, Bad Lieutenant, those different things.
But this has the same kind of tension that he likes to put on camera. Like
It does. It does. I mean, Abel Ferrara for me has always been kind of one of those, like, his films are very not real life, because obviously stuff like Miss 45 and Driller Killer are not like, but they're like rooted in reality.
yeah, you could say based in reality. Yeah.
Based in reality, yeah. So I mean, like, this is like different for him, I feel.
Yeah.
Because he did, I'm just looking at his filmography here, and like, he's done a lot more stuff than we think of, but a lot of the stuff isn't really well known. Like when we did New Rose Hotel, which was one of his lesser known films that had Christopher Walken and Asia Argento in it. Like that was definitely a Ferrara flick. Like, but this is like, you know, looking like he did Bad Lieutenant in 92. He did this in 93. King of New York was 1990. China Girl was 87. Beer City 84. Miss 45 81. Driller Killer 79. But he's a really, either way, regardless, I'm kind of just like spouting off here, but he's such an interesting filmmaker because he makes simple stuff interesting.
Yeah.
Right? So this version stars Gabriel Anwar, who most of you guys are going to remember from stuff like Three Musketeers and like Scent of a Woman. But she was a really good, like, mid-90s actress that showed up in a ton of... she's still, I'm looking now, like, she still works fairly regularly. She kind of fell nicely into TV roles.
Okay.
But also doing... Go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I just always liked her name, how, like, when you say it, how it flows. It's just a neat sounding... It's one of those names I repeat over and over in my head because, you know, it's what happens.
Yeah, but, like, she was in, like, If Looks Could Kill, and she, as we said, Scent of a Woman, Fallen
she was
Angels,
everywhere in the 90s.
Three Musketeers, in the 90s, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, Innocent Lies, The Grave. Yeah, she was doing a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's likable. Like, she's just likable.
Yeah.
She's pretty, but not too pretty. Where you're like, you know, you're like, oh, well, like, where did this model walk in from? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, so she's the main star. She plays Marty. Her and her family, including her dad, her stepmom, and her younger brother, are moving to a military base for an undetermined amount of time where he's working for the EPA, and he's being brought in to test a whole bunch of stuff, different water, different chemicals, just like basically make sure everything's on the up and up. The stepmom, played by Meg Tilly, who was obviously, I mean, Meg Tilly, Big Chill.
Yep.
Psycho 2?
I saw that once. I don't remember at all.
I think Psycho 2. Let me make sure.
Okay.
Yes, Psycho 2. But she's a very well-known actress. She's been around for a long time. She plays the mom. She's not in this really all that much. Terry Kinney, Riley Murphy, Billy Worth, and Emily Valentine herself, Christina Elise. And we all remember Christina Elise from 90210 playing Emily Valentine. Well, maybe you don't because you were like, oh, I was too old to watch that at the time.
No, that was Saved by the Bell. I watched some 90210.
So she was Brandon's crazy girlfriend in that. She plays the daughter of the general. The general, of course, is a hard ass. There's not... I'm going to take a sip of my drink right here. Watch. There's nothing crazy going on in this movie. It is a pretty faithful retelling, additional canon, whatever it is, to the invasion of the Body Snatchers world. They're already here. They've already taken over things, and they've already infiltrated. It's not a situation where, like, we see a meteorite crash and, like, all of these things. It's already happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Superman started. It's already going on. Here we go. Strap in. I like that. I don't want to see the if I want to watch the Secret Invasion stuff start off, I'll watch the incredibly campy, super fun remake of Invaders from Mars.
Oh, I love that.
That's the costumes, the monsters are so good. Anyway, but this one I like that it starts off because I mean everybody knows. Everybody's waiting for who's going to do the point and scream. By the way, that was handled very well.
Very good.
She was scary. Yeah, that was when she pointed. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And then the noise that came out of her mouth and the way she distorted her face. Okay, you're up there. You get your spot. Good job. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, no, you're dropped right into the middle of it. So the story's pretty simple. You have Marty, who is the daughter. She's probably supposed to be like 16, 17, somewhere in there. She meets up with Jen, who's Christina Elise's character. She's the daughter. They meet a couple of young helicopter pilots. They go out partying, and, you know, they come home too late or whatever, and the dad basically is like, oh, you're not allowed to see them anymore, and that's just enough of the story or whatever. But the things really kind of come into play with the invasion angle of it is when the younger brother goes to his daycare. All of the kids, and this was a really nice touch, I thought. All of the kids in daycare draw the same picture, except for him. And the little kid, the actor that they had doing it, does this great job of like holding up his picture, and then like he looks at it, and then he looks at everybody else's, and he's like,
Yep.
There's something not right here.
And that is such a palpable fear of a grade school kid. Did I do something wrong? What the hell is what is going on? He had no idea what he was doing or he had no idea what was happening is what I'm saying. But he's not a dumb kid.
No, not at all.
So I was pretty happy with how he did his shit after he figured out something wasn't right.
So the dad, Steve, like he's there to do all this testing. We see him talking to the general. At this point, we don't really know a whole lot, and the general is like just seems like a hard ass. You don't really think about the emotion of him. That's the whole thing with Body Snatchers is like once they take over your. These guys don't even take over your body. They recreate your body.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing, the thing from another world kind of.
Yep, but they're emotionless. That's the whole thing, and he just comes off as a hard ass. But like, so this guy's trying to do his testing and stuff, and then he kind of sees some things that are a little weird, and then he takes a sample of something that needs to get tested after a guy gets burned, and like things don't go the way they should when he's like, oh, we got to get a doctor or whatever, and they're like, nope, he's fine.
Yeah,
he's fine. And then it kind of just goes from there, and then they take over the stepmother in the first time you get to kind of see what's happening there, and it's pretty gross.
Yeah, they made it slimy and disgusting enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like the little tentacle things come through and they go up her nose and in her ears and in her mouth, and they do the whole thing, and they start doing the same thing to the sister too, but she wakes up in time.
Yeah,
it's all done, I think, very well. There's not a lot of variation on the story either at this point. They're just running for their lives. They get back together with a helicopter pilot. These guys are taking over the world, and there's a lot of like really chaotic scenes. Just a few things that don't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, so when the father and the daughter and the younger brother are trying to run away, these like group of guys with guns show up and start gunning down the body snatchers.
Oh yeah.
But like, so I'm like, oh well, that must mean there's like some sort of resistance or something. Yeah. Like a collected resistance, and there isn't, as far as I can tell. It's every man for himself. So I don't understand why they were why they defended them.
Yeah,
it's kind of just a weird little point there. And also, like, everything seems to ramp up very, very quickly because they've been keeping it on the down low, it seems, and we don't know how long they've been doing this. Because there's no real tell of time or anything. Just like we have this in the opening scene where Gabriel Anwar's character goes into the bathroom at the gas station, and the guy from the base is in there, and he's like, "They get you when you sleep,"
right?
And then you're like, "Okay, so it's already happening."
Yeah, was not. I mean, I'll say it again. I appreciate that because we all know the story. So
right, exactly. Yeah, I got no problems with that. Like, my problems aren't stemming from any of the not giving us that information.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like the little things that kind of pop up, like these guys are shooting up and they're trying to help, but like, where did they come from? And
did they get captured?
The guys shooting the guns?
Yeah.
We never saw them again.
Okay, so I would assume they got captured and changed.
Overtaken, right? Overtaken and changed. Because when things go haywire, the whole base like goes haywire at once. So that was kind of interesting because everything had been on the down low for so long. And you can't tell me that they hadn't had people that like, or you could tell me this, and there's a chance that these are the first ones to or get away before they're overtaken. But like, it just all kind of seemed, and then like the ramp up of it, and then like they're sending out the pods like to everywhere that night, and it just all kind of comes to a head very quickly. And again, I get it's a movie, we got to move things along, but it just all seemed to happen very quickly.
Well, I mean, so. If you are taking over a military base, and I'm just going to think out loud here for a second, you're gonna target some people, make sure that everything works right, and you can infiltrate, right? So you have like one or two guys, which is kind of how it started. And then I don't think they're going to want to wait on this whole thing because they have all these guys out in the swamp collecting the pods. So clearly what was going on is they've been there for a little while, like a War of the Worlds thing. And the pods must be ready to go. And the coincidence of the guy coming in is, I think, just that.
Yeah, no, I
he
agree.
shows up in like stage 6 of a 6.5 stage plan. And the kid figures it out. And like once you pull the curtain back, I think, you gotta step onto a new stage there. And that stage is crazy and filled with squirming linguini.
Yes.
So
that's a good way
I
to
think
put it.
that's what it is. It's like, okay, there's no point in hiding. Everybody knows what we are, and if they're not human, I know what they are. So
Right.
you got Arlie Ermy who's doing his thing. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. And he started off speaking, not yelling, not doing his normal shit, but calm. That scary calm that he can do. And he stayed that way. So the whole emotion thing, like, it doesn't really click in until it's the normal people, because this helicopter pilot, I swear to God, he was a pod person from the second we met him.
Right.
He was so bad at conversation, like, I noticed. So but I think that was good, because then he's acting the same later on and you don't know if he's been taken or not. So it worked, but his acting came across really bad as a human, and then worked fine afterwards. So
Yeah, and we get a nice kind of role from Forrest Whitaker, who plays a doctor in the Army who knows that something weird's going on. And he's not there much, but he's there just enough to like be like, all right, yeah, you're bringing some levity to this situation. I'm into it.
He's such an intense actor. Like, I hate to say this, but when he comes on screen, just his presence can pull me out of a film, because it's Forrest Whitaker. He's unique. His cadence, his voice alone, the way he talks, the way he looks and like moves his face around, it's all unique from other actors, I think. And I look at it, I'm like, hey, look at that. There's Forrest Whitaker.
Yep.
And that's what happens in my head, and I hate it because I just want to get lost in what he's doing. But like, my brain is like, give the man credit, say his name. I don't know, but he was good. He was good. Once I got over the initial part and I got a handle on his character.
Yeah. He's there just enough. He's only in like 2 scenes. He's not in it very much.
Two major scenes.
Yeah, 2 very
for
important
him.
scenes.
Yeah,
For sure.
And then he might. I think he's got a couple lines here and there, right? Just to remind you he's there. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
but-
I just remember the scene where he goes up to him when he's starting the testing, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, could these chemicals, affect somebody emotionally and create an imbalance, create paranoia?"
Yeah, he wasn't really good at trying to ask those questions.
No, because he was but it went really good with the character because he was freaked out because everything was being so weird. And then when we see him again after all hell goes, breaks loose, it works too. And I liked it. Like, I liked the way he went out. Like, I thought that was right for what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Was the other thing I wanted to say before we graded. I really do like this in this reimagining, the moving it to a military base. Because the other 2 versions of it, the 1960 or 1960 or 59, and the book was I think 50, 1954.
I didn't look it up. Let
the
me
book?
find out.
54, maybe 55. And I feel like the film was like only a couple years after that, maybe 59, 1960.
Yeah, so we got 93, 78, 56 was the film.
56. Okay, so the book was probably 54 maybe.
Yeah, let me see. Jack Finney, publication date, November, December 1954.
All right, yeah, cool. So,
It was serialized in Collier's magazine in
okay.
1954 and then published the following year.
Okay, cool.
So,
I was right.
yeah,
I'm
and
right.
it's exactly at the height of like McCarthyism and the Red Scare and all that
Yep.
stupid shit.
But my point with being that like moving it from, you know, everyday life to a military base where everything is very insular and controlled makes a lot of sense that they would infiltrate this base and they would take over the military because, you know, they're obviously supposed to be the ones in command and they're the ones that are telling everyone what to do. So
Yeah, and
it
also
makes
no
good sense.
nosy people are allowed to be in there to poke around on shit.
And which shown that right away when Marty goes out for a walk and she gets too close to an area she's not supposed to, and she's like surrounded by soldiers. They're like, hey, what are you doing here? You can't be here.
Yeah.
So it works good. It works good. All right, let's grade.
Okay.
All right, Chris. 1993. Abel Ferrar's Body Snatchers. Do you recommend, and what is your grade?
Yeah, I am going to recommend this. This feels like a quick and dirty version of a movie. Not in a bad way, but in like this is going to run at 100 miles an hour once shit goes down. So I really appreciated that, because Body Snatcher movies are good, but you have all of that subterfuge and mystery in the beginning. You know, is my mom acting different? Is this doesn't fuck around. It's like, yes, she is different. She's dead and an alien. And the kid calls it right from the beginning.
Yep.
So that alone made me sit back and go, okay, movie, I forgot what you did. Let's see. Go ahead. Surprise. And it didn't surprise me, but it kind of met my expectations after that point.
Okay.
Which is a good thing. What I wanted was a bunch of, can I trust this person? They should be wrong once, you know, but right every other time, that kind of thing. And it sort of mostly followed that. It is sort of like a lighter, like tone wise, it's like a lighter version of The Mist. It's kind of gross. People are having fun doing their acting jobs, but still, it's bleak. The whole idea of being invaded by something that preaches acceptance and kindness and peace and quiet, and everybody's all calm and everything like that would be difficult for people to resist.
But you're not part of it. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
they kill everybody. Like, they kill everyone and create their own society. It's like, yeah, they look like humans, but they're not. It's not like, oh, you choose to, you know, let them take you over or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure if they got all of the person's memories or not.
I don't think
that I couldn't remember. Yeah, I did love the mother's speech. The where are you going to go? Like, it could come off as cheesy, but when you see that the military is doing this stuff, her question of where are you going to go? Nobody else is like you anymore is chilling, because the last thing you knew, it was only humans, and now it's not. That was a good line. I like
that was good. It was good.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna give it a B+.
Okay, strong grade.
Really
grade.
close to an A-. I liked it.
I'm pretty much right there with you. Minor issues with some of the storytelling and some little things that could have either been flushed out or just a little thing to explain, but didn't really hurt my enjoyment of it. It's like it's like a tight 90 minutes. Things happen pretty quickly. We don't have to go through this. Like, we get enough character development on our main characters to know who they are and like how they feel and things like that. So it's the type of thing where we don't have to worry about sitting through 45 minutes of figuring out who everyone is, so that you care about them, which is great because the aliens are already there, things are already happening, and it hits the ground running. And I think it's a really interesting retelling of this story, reimagining, if you will. And it's one that I don't hear really people talk about, and I definitely remember it being a constant rental when we were at Blockbuster. Like, people rented it all the time. Always, very memorable box art, along with like Return of the Living Dead Part 3 is the one that I remember with this.
Oh, yeah. And let's be honest, it's partly because the main actress there, she gets naked. We know why kids were renting this.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah. And that was the other thing, too. Like, they didn't skimp on nudity. Stuart Gordon in Reanimator there, he he doesn't skimp on nudity. You're in the morgue. You're a naked dead body. That's how it works.
There's no reason why they'd be clothed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're being reborn, or taken over or copied. They don't have clothes.
Right. You're in the bath. You don't usually wear your clothes into the bath.
Yeah, yeah. So the whole idea of it, like, I like that. I like that, like, when you see her, and it's the alien, but she looks different. Her hair, like, every time somebody comes back as a pod person, they look better. You know, their hair looks better, their skin looks better
because it's new.
Yeah, but the look in her eyes, the look on her face, like you could see the malice in there. So I thought everybody did a really good acting job, and I swear I know that kid from something else.
Probably.
I can't place it though.
That's all good.
But even the kid actor was good.
Yeah, no, I thought everyone did a good job. So I obviously recommend it. And I'm gonna give it as a grade. You gave it a B plus.
Yeah.
I'm a B, borderline B plus. It's good. It's definitely, it holds up. It doesn't look like, I mean, it looks like a 90s horror movie, but like it doesn't fall apart in any way, shape, or form.
That's true.
So there, yeah. Speaking of falling apart in any way, shape, and form, next up we have La Osia del Gay Ulmone Pecce, also known as Screamers, also known as The Island of the Fishmen, also known as a Sergio Martino film that we haven't covered. Here's a trailer, which might be in Italian, I don't know.
C'è qualcosa che sta sfondando la barca! Fermi, state giù!
La Ischia delle Ulmone Pecce.
Siamo su un'isola vulcanica. Vediamo se ci vive qualcuno.
This isn't going to help anyone.
No.
It's also 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Most people in the U.S. and English-speaking countries will know this under the title either Island of the Fishmen or Screamers. The version we watched that was on Tubi in the U.S. said Screamers.
Yep, it did.
It doesn't. That title does not make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Nope. But we do have an all-star cast of Italian actors and actresses here. We have Barbara Bach, obviously, best known for her work in The Spy Who Loved Me. She's also been in a number of other Italian genre flicks. We have Claudio Casanelli, who's, again, an all-star for things that we cover, stuff like Suspicious Death of a Mine or Hercules, Good Thief, stuff like that. And we got Richard Johnson, The Haunting was
Okay.
the original Haunting. He was Dr. Maynard in Zombie. Boy in the Striped Pajamas, a number of other things. So yeah, these guys are all guys that we know. Even like Franco Giavaroni, who plays Jose, he's been in a bunch of stuff they've covered over the years too.
True.
So
yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
Is this the best or the worst reimagining of The Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Oh God, I think it's not either. Right? Isn't Humanoids from the Deep the worst one?
Oh
Where
yeah,
they're
I guess.
having sex with the women, right?
Okay, so either way here. All right, let's just get into this.
Yeah.
So, Island of the Fishmen, aka Screamers. Really wish I'd love to know who thought that was a good idea to name this that.
Probably some dude in an office.
Yeah. So it opens up with these people who've been brought to this island looking for treasure. Cameron Mitchell has a part in this at the beginning where it's a guy and a girl, and they're like, you said you'd show us the treasure. And like, immediately I was like, why would this guy, if he knew where the treasure was and that it was okay to get, why would he just not take it himself and he would wait to take you there? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we know that there's something weird going on, and he sends them into a cave to look for the treasure, and there's lots of skeletons all over the place. We keep seeing these gooey, webbed hands, like, peeking over the rocks and, like, that stuff, and the guy from the boat ends up getting eaten by one. Actually, that's the best kill in the whole thing. The fishman just slaps his head right off his shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, these people are made out of some flimsy skin.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like this dude just goes boom and his head just rolls right off. It looks great.
And yet when that same dude fights the woman, she sort of almost gets the upper hand on him. So she's a superhero.
Yeah, I immediately was like, they set these guys up to be way too tough, like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Because then they get into like fist fights with like ordinary people and like can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
But so they go into either way, they go into the tunnel. We have some banter back and forth between the man and the woman about, well, we wouldn't need to look for this treasure if you hadn't gambled away all of our money and like whatever. So they're just basically, it's your slasher fodder of like the opening scene where some people get killed just to kind of set the tone and the idea of what we're working with. We are then introduced to a guy who is a doctor and a lieutenant who was on a boat with a bunch of prisoners from a prison ship, but the prison ship sunk, and they have been floating aimlessly for an extended amount of time until they're dragged to this island. Mm-hmm. And it's the same island as we saw earlier. Shocking turn of events.
Yeah. It's weird how that came together.
Yeah, right? So the survivors of the crashed boat are now on this island trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, they're trying to find clean water, and they come across, like, voodoo stuff and are addressed by Barbara Bach, who kills a snake with a shotgun or a rifle. She kills a snake with a rifle. And she's like, you should leave. Yeah. And they're like, where are we going to go?
Right. Where are you going to go?
And she's like, but, you know, this island's owned by Dr. Hack'emsack, and what was his name?
I don't remember.
Dr.
Caligari. No. Moreau. It was Dr. Moreau.
Dr. Edmund Rackham.
Yeah.
Rackham actually wasn't that far off. She's like, he owns this island. He doesn't like visitors. You get out of here. And so she rides off on her horse, and these guys, being the geniuses that they are, like, well, we're just going to follow her back to wherever she came from.
Yeah.
And they do. We then meet Dr. Hacky Sack, and he's like, hey, who are you? He's like, well, I'm Lieutenant Dr. So-and-so, or Lieutenant Dr. Claude de Ross. He's like, doctor, I see. Who are them? And he's like, oh, yeah, they're just escaped prisoners.
Yeah.
He's like, but they came from a prison ship, and I'm a doctor. What do you think? So he gives them a place to sleep, which is really just a dirty cave. And then this story gets way more complicated than it needs to.
That's true.
Do you want to try to explain it?
I'm not sure I know it all.
Give it a try, and I'll tell you where you're off.
Okay. So I'm gonna skip over like the thing that's like revealed at the end, right? But
I don't care if you do.
Okay. So let me back up a little bit here and say in Shadow over Innsmouth, there's stories about Marsh, the man who came into contact with these sons of Dagon or whatever you want to call them, right? And the legend is that some jewelry in the Arkham Library and in the Marsh estate has this unknown art style to it that seems alien, but still based on Earth. And the whole idea is like the fish guys out on Devil's Reef would give him gold, and then the fish people intermingle and they live forever if they go down into the ocean and that kind of stuff. So there's that, right, which I think covers the treasure part of this story. But I have a big question about how that works. Can I ask that question, ruin the end, and just...
Sure, go for it.
How...
Marginal at best.
How did these guys have all of this treasure that looks like it came from an entirely different civilization when they were just normal humans?
Mm-hmm.
Weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically what we have is the amphibian version of Dr. Moreau. And another douchebag that wants all the gold.
Yep.
and three guys that are prisoners, two are prisoners and one that's not, that all want to follow this woman, regardless of the fact that she can control the fish people.
Right. By giving them milk of magnesia.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what the stuff that she gives them to control them looks like.
Yeah. Maybe it was milk of amnesia.
Ooh.
Yeah. That'd be
Get me
better.
some of that.
Yeah. You forget you some of that?
I'm going to have to forget me some of that.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest. I think I fell asleep for about 10 minutes. But I think that's the whole story.
So did you miss the whole Atlantis connection?
No, I saw that.
Okay. That was stupid.
I completely disregarded it because humans cannot transform into gill people in 1,000 years.
No.
No. Right. Exactly.
No.
Shouldn't be. So that part I ignored.
That's fair. But yeah, so essentially you have Rich Hacky Sack. He has essentially kidnapped this other brilliant scientist doctor and his daughter. He's had them there for 15 years. And they've been slowly changing people, natives, into these fish people. And he has this idea, like the doctor has this idea that it's gonna like help change the world and make everyone, when the world's underwater, everyone will be able to survive.
Oh no, his thing was overpopulation.
Oh yeah, whatever. Well, survive. People can survive that.
That's true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But Barbara Bach plays the daughter. Obviously, she's gorgeous, and she's been in so many things that we've covered on the show. And like, she plays her it's not really a damsel in distress role, but like her like secondary role is she does a great job at it, and she's the driving force of the movie. The only time that anything is interesting is when she's on screen. Everything else is just like, bad costume, swimming underwater.
You know what?
You didn't think about the science of this at all, did you?
They had a lot of guys in suits swimming underwater, so I'm giving it a little bit of credit for that because that was impressive.
Okay.
Even if they're carrying the gold and they're trying to swim, like they're not Riku Browning, they're not professional swimmers. It looks like so, but when they weren't carrying stuff, they were doing okay.
Right. The thing that killed me in this was when Dr. Rackham-Up basically takes the lieutenant doctor down in the pod to explain everything about how the lost city of Atlantis is here and these fish people are helping get the gold and the doctor controls them. And it's the littlest thing that I was just like, fucking stop. When they're like, oh, this is 2,000 feet underwater. But yet they get there in seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In just this, like, metal, like, submersible, like, chamber.
Yeah.
And then they go back up in seconds. And there's no, like, changing the pressure or,
Oh,
like...
no. Okay. That I was wondering about. I can't remember. Is the bottom of this thing open or is it sealed?
It's sealed.
Okay, so the pressure should stay the same. If it was open at the bottom, like a bathysphere or like one of those, like in Leviathan or whatever, they have that room where the water only goes up to the edge. And if the water doesn't fill the whole room and they're underwater, like that is because of a pressure change between the air and the water and it holds it at that spot. But if you don't need to, I don't think that those guys in those big, heavy metal suits need to decompress.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. That's where the bends comes from.
Yeah, no, I know.
You come
but
up
that's
too fast.
The bends comes from breathing oxygen from a tank, from the nitrogen in it. But I swear, let me just check because I could be wrong. It's been a long time.
I could be wrong too, but I always thought that like
manual.
you had to like. That's why when you're in when the submarines come back up, they don't just come straight back up.
Oh no, they do. You've seen them rocket out of the water, right?
Yeah, but not from like 2,000 feet.
Well, I don't think they can go that far.
Dude, that one that went to Titanic.
Yeah, it didn't come back, so they don't go that far.
Details. I watched like 4 documentaries on it.
Yeah, well, the guy, tried to Xbox his controller, so...
It was a PlayStation controller, actually. And it was a PS3. It was...
Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but the fish guys coming up from there, we absolutely agree should need to decompress, right?
Right.
because they're humans, not fish people.
But they are fish people. They're not just wearing costumes.
No, but their internal like DNA structure is human. So I don't think this guy can go in and do whatever whales have to deal with the bends and stuff. But
I don't know. I was just more annoyed that like 2,000 feet was only really like 10 feet under the water because like there was plenty of light.
Yeah.
You could see the surface. And
Yeah.
also like you were able to get there in seconds.
Yeah.
That was my issue with it.
I'm sure we got some scuba divers here that'll have an idea and tell us that we're both wrong.
Do you think we do? Do you think we have any scuba divers that listen to us?
I'm sure we do. Yeah.
My buddy Tom, he scuba dives. I don't think he doesn't scuba dive to depths like that, obviously, but like, yeah. If you know, tell us. Tell us how wrong we are. We know how much we love being told we're wrong.
I don't mind it anymore. I really don't.
It's been a while, actually. Nobody cares enough about the details of the show anymore to correct us.
No, that's fine. They just play for their friends and go listen to these dum-dums.
I know, right? Anyway, so Island of the Fishmen, these guys are just like, yeah, it's your classic rich guy wants to be richer, scientist wants to change the world, and nobody communicates with each other.
Okay. Submarines. Modern submarines are designed with strong hulls that maintain the internal pressure at sea level regardless of depth. The hull is specifically constructed to withstand the immense pressure of the surrounding water. The design protects the crew from the crushing external pressure, and they do not need to decompress when surfacing.
Okay.
Because it's a sealed chamber. And that's what I think this thing was that they dropped down that looked like it came off of the fucking Nemo's ship.
It was like a buoy.
Yeah. Let's see. What is it? Sunken or damaged ships. Normal surface operation. Yeah, it's if you're in something that can maintain its internal pressure, you're okay.
Okay.
But if you're exposed to the water, you run the risk because of compression and expansion of bubbles, possibly in your bloodstream.
Okay, that makes sense. So I was wrong. You were right.
Yeah, we were both sort of half right. So
whatever.
I'm good with that.
All right. So what are your thoughts, though? Obviously, because you being the big creature fan, the design of these fishmen.
Some of them are good. Some of them looked like they finished them on Friday afternoon. Right? I mean, the one that we got with the hands, the close up of the hands, very Creature from the Black Lagoon looking. I was very happy with that. Some of them had goofy, like wall-eyed kind of bug eyes.
Yeah.
But fish have that. But
very
I mean,
goldfish.
it was
very stupid goldfish look.
Yeah, it was definitely molded into the mask. They weren't. No. I did like that they were all similar but different enough that you could tell. You could, if you needed to, you could identify one or two of them as like the main fish guy. Yeah, I just did. They were okay. I do get tired of gillmen with sharp teeth because not all fish in the ocean have sharp teeth, and that's not a thing for the creature. Really, is biting like. So, I understand that the scary underwater monsters have fish fangs. But I don't think you need them all the time. Creature in the Black Lagoon is perfectly scary as a head-crushing machine.
Right.
So,
well, there's that part where they're changing Jose.
Yeah.
And he literally looks like the Creature from the Black. Like it's got to be an homage. Like it has.
It's that. It's the almost like right before the final version of him in The Creature Walks Among Us. Right, where he's almost human, but not quite. But this is definitely a lot gooier and more colorful.
Yeah.
Not because it's in color and not black and white, but because like, there's a lot of colors on his body.
Yeah, agreed.
And that makeup was really good, too.
The makeup in this was actually surprisingly well done for the most part. Take away the fact that they could only afford 2 or 3 good costumes. But like...
Hey, at least they could afford more than one. I'll give them that.
Yeah, and they did a good job of hiding the bad parts of the costumes for the most part. Like, yeah, you got the wall-eyed, googly-eyed look a few times, but you only get it for a few seconds at a time.
True, he's a background guy.
Right, yeah. So they do, I think, a pretty good job considering, because this is a low budget Italian movie. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's not like Martino's best stuff. Like, I think Martino's best movie is Your Vice is a Locked Room.
Yeah.
And, or no, Strange Vice, Miss Ward. Sorry. That's the one I was going to say.
Yeah. That
that's,
too.
And that's one of my favorites, favorite Italian flicks in general, favorite giallos. And like that's where he does his best work, is in that world where he doesn't have to like really deal with the fantastical. But with that said, I think this is pretty solid in terms of its look, at least.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. They found a great place to film.
Yeah. Yeah. The island is cool. The idea they bring this whole volcanic thing that the island's basically going to blow up.
Yeah.
Which works.
Right, because you need some kind of ticking clock to get you off of the
Right.
island. So.
Right, exactly, and it works. And your boy Ransack, he's like suitably a villain when he needs to become the villain. Like, he does a pretty good job of becoming the Richard Johnson. Becomes like, you're like, oh yeah, you suck.
Yeah, he's definitely like a Snidely Whiplash kind of twirling the mustache kind of guy.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. He knew the part.
Cool.
So-
All right, let's grade. Chris, do you recommend, and what is your grade for Island of the Fishmen? 1979.
I don't think I want to recommend this because it sort of comes off as like a Lovecraft thing, but it's not. So if you're looking for that, you're going to be disappointed. So if you hold Creature from the Black Lagoon in your heart like I do, pass. And I'm going to give it a C- because I didn't hate it,
Right.
but I didn't, there wasn't enough surprise. There was a lot of surprise. I'll give it some stuff, but nah, it wasn't enough surprise to, what's it called? To counteract some of the dumb stuff that was going on.
I mean, I obviously chose this movie specifically for you because I'm like, I know you're such a big fan of the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I was like, we'll give this a whirl. Chris will probably hate it.
I didn't hate it. It's just, I can't recommend this. I can't, I feel like I would ruin my reputation.
That's fair. No, that's completely fair.
Yeah, so C-. I didn't hate it. The costumes are fantastic. The makeup effect, the blood effects, all that. The acting was right where it needed to be. Just the story was like 3 different stories mashed together. Because you have the whole thing with the natives too.
Oh my god, yeah, we didn't even mention them. That's how convoluted it was. We didn't even mention them.
Yeah, and the woman there plays a pretty big part at the end.
Does, yeah, that's true. That is true.
But whatever.
Exactly. In general, I am not recommending it, but I am giving it a specific recommend to those of you that love Italian trash and those of you that are Sergio Martino fans, because it definitely holds a place in that world. But it's not, excuse me. But overall, unless you like that stuff, it's not anything special. It's got some cool stuff. Maybe if you're like a really big Fishmen fan, like if you're Troy McClure or one of those people that are really into fish, then yeah, okay. But overall, no, not so much. Stories are too convoluted. It's too pieced together. It's all of those things that just don't give it enough. Music isn't great.
Yeah, it's
Connor Bach was
repetitive.
great. That's great. But everything else, not so much. So I will give it a... I, like you, did not hate it, but I did not love it. So I'm just going to go C.
Yeah.
C.
It's kind of like how I feel about the later Reanimator films.
Yeah, and
They're
Stuart
fine.
Gordon being a writer on this probably you kind of got that feeling too.
Yeah, I think that's where a
Or not
lot
on
of the
this,
gross
I'm sorry.
stuff
He
came
was on
from.
Body. He was a writer on Body Snatchers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, all
Oh,
right.
yeah. I got that mixed up. It really felt like one that he should have worked on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
All right, let's move on. Joe is doing Starship Troopers 2 this week. I can't imagine this is going to go well, but let's see.
Well, hello, Bill. Hello, Chris. And hello, OTC Nation. It's your boy Joe here, and this week Bill took me to a part of the galaxy I never thought I'd see. Mostly because I never really wanted to watch this movie. Because he made me watch Starship Troopers 2. Oh, I am just balls deep in uncharted star systems here, boys. I'll be honest, I knew that they made this one. I knew that they made this movie, but I didn't even know they made 3 more after it.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't bullshitting last week when I say that I've literally never heard anyone say anything good about this movie, ever. Not even apologist friends like my boy Doug, who likes everything, and pointing out a movie's negatives, I'm pretty sure would make him break out in hives. But Starship Troopers isn't the only franchise to fall prey to someone getting their hands on sequel rights who probably shouldn't have. I'd point out the ultimate sequel that was as bad as the OG was good, Speed 2. I can't come up with a joke better than that movie was in and of itself. Son of the Mask was a movie that I threw on in the last couple weeks that I worked at the video store on a lonely night where I had maybe 4 customers the entire shift. I've always disliked Jamie Kennedy, but Son of the Mask is a movie that made me hate him. He's coming to Grand Rapids Comic-Con like in about a month, and the temptation is there. Basic Instinct 2. I didn't see it, but I heard that it was a nothing burger of a movie. Blues Brothers 2000, Blair Witch 2, American Psycho 2.
Ugh.
I remember anticipating Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
We all made that
and
mistake.
Experiencing disappointment on the level of like the first time you get dumped unceremoniously by someone you liked. Every Crow movie after the first one. Roadhouse 2, starring the guy from That Thing You Do, but not the one you wanted. I don't know which one that is, but it's not the guy that was in it. I could go on, and a quick Google search led me to remember a bunch more, and I literally just remembered right now Battle Royale 2. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna go do some chores before I start Starship Troopers 2, just to get myself out of the headspace that remembering Battle Royale 2 just now put me in. Like, I'm already expecting this to not be great, but I at least want to give it a chance. But I'll tell you what, right off the bat, there's at least some good character actors here. JP, I'm pretty sure it's JP Mano, who you'd remember as the fake dean from Community.
Oh, yeah.
Brenda Strong, who was the heir to the O. Henry candy bar fortune on Seinfeld. But also, ironically, played a different character in the OG Starship Troopers. She was the ship's captain that Denise Richards was training under.
Oh,
and Ed fucking Lauder. Well, I don't even know what thing he was in that I could pick, like, that would be great. So, I don't know. I'll say you might remember him as the police chief in Death Wish 3.
Okay.
Which is secretly my favorite Death Wish movie.
That's fair.
Well, I guess not so secretly now. I don't know. The biggest signifier of the decrease in budget is that ST1 was obviously shot on location, had great CGI, just a really fucking big budget there. Whereas in this movie, we start in the weeds with a platoon surrounded by bugs fighting for their lives on what is obviously a set that was the biggest set they could afford, but only half of the set that they needed. There's also the guns no longer shooting blanks, but shooting like little bad CGI blue flashes like they're in an old episode of G.I. Joe.
Oh.
The longer this goes on, the more I think they just glued a fucking blue LED to the end of these very fake-looking guns, and I have seen fan films with better practical effects. Ooh, while I'm at it, there's a Friday the 13th. I guess it's a fan film. I don't really know. It's called Sweet Revenge. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's really fucking good if you're a Friday the 13th mark like I am. After the initial, basically bloodless fight in the open, the troopers retreat to a small abandoned base, and god damn it, it's a bottle episode. Well, actually, now that I think about it, if you're on a limited budget doing a Starship Trooper sequel, I guess a bottle episode really isn't the worst idea. Like, yeah, okay, I'm with you so far. What was the worst idea was turning a Starship Troopers sequel into a goddamn episode of Degrassi High.
Can you pause him for a second?
Yeah, sure. Personal relationships played a role.
Hold on. There we go.
YouTube, The Prop Store, listed 8 years ago. Lot 448, Horton's, in parentheses, Jason Shane Scott's SFX E-Pulse 44 rifle from Starship Troopers 2, including the blue light for the tip of the gun.
Ah!
It's real. It's real. It's like what they did with all the other stuff once LEDs were like cheap enough to put them in there. Like they put them in the tips of the Ghostbusters wands so they know when the actor's pulling the trigger and stuff. Yeah. It's a blue light and they just cheated.
All right.
Sorry, I had to. That was too good of a piece of information.
Fair enough. Let's continue.
In the first movie, but it wasn't so, I don't know, maudlin? It wasn't the fucking focal point, is what I'm saying. It actually had a point. This feels like they pulled a writer from Party of Five to, like, zhuzh up the interpersonal drama. Oh, and, oh, damn. And somebody watched The Hidden before they made this. Do you remember The Hidden? Kyle MacLachlan?
Yeah.
Oof, what a great movie. We've got some bugs inside of people and controlling them. And we also found one of my horror response triggers.
Oh.
The things getting inside of you and controlling you.
Yeah.
The crew is trying to duct tape this old base together just long enough to get rescued when a new bug shows up in the fake Dean, and he's giving new meaning to the phrase, "Let me get up in them guts." So this was all a plan by the bugs to get one of their little maggot spider things into the general who's leading this mission and kind of do, I don't know, like what Christian white nationalists started doing to the Republicans about 50 years ago. Just take over the top levels of government and destroy humanity from within. No big.
Oh, I thought you meant Crash and
Tell you
Grinder.
what, though, when this movie stops being a 20-somethings having complicated feelings space drama and actually tells the story it's trying to tell, you guys, looks around suspiciously, it's not bad. Listen. Hey, everybody, listen.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I did not say it was good. I didn't say it was great. I didn't say it was good. I didn't say you should watch it. I just said it wasn't bad. Maybe it's just because I've seen so much worse. They even made sure to reference that the humans live under an authoritarian government, and everyone is okay with it because presumably before the bugs, they went to war with, other people.
Nazis?
The technical good guys win. This wasn't as bad as I was expecting. Here's the thing, the good. The basic idea of the movie is pretty good, especially since it seems that they knew this was going to be a straight-to-video gimmick, and you can't really shoot the moon there. Future good would be someone doing with this what they're doing now with Predator and Aliens and some other properties, and having someone smart and good who is a genuine fan of like the IP take the reins and give us maybe some solid movies and maybe even a series. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that'd be awesome. The bad. They only really had about half of a movie here. And the filler is like asbestos that was left in the bottom of a chicken coop for a couple of months.
Gross.
And as someone who owns chickens, I can tell you, you don't want that. Also, see above regarding the guns just having like blue LEDs on the barrels. And the actors having to mimic recoil. You can tell like maybe only one of them has ever actually shot a gun in their life. Like they're one step shy of just having them shout like, pew, 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 I got you. No, I did. I got you. You're dead. Ugh. Mom, Tommy won't play the game right. Ugh.
Yep. Fuck Tommy.
Starship Troopers 2 gets a very surprising listen. It's going to get a C. I know. If you're listening to this and you're mad at me right now, I know. I'd heard so much, I expected so much worse. I'll be back next week with Starship Troopers 3, Marauder. Casper Van Beethoven is back to take the fascists bowling. Poor guy. He probably thought he was going to be the next, like, Stallone or Schwarzenegger, and I bet you his agent told him as much. And he believed that shit. Quark says hi, everybody. Anyway, until then, be good, everyone.
Interesting turn of events right there.
Yeah.
Would not have
Who would
expected
have
it.
thought? Who would have thought
I mean, dude.
it would have been crap?
I mean, I would have thought it would have been a lot worse crap.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. That's true.
So, either way, okay, here we go. Reverend Scott is back with for his segment for 913. That just means episode 9. 9:30. Also, my wife's birthday is the 13th of September, so.
Oh.
There you go.
There you go.
She had a birthday like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
What's it, 28th, 29th?
29.
All right, well, there you go. There you go. All that happened. Oh, all right, let's see what Scott says.
Yep.
Hey, buddy. Time to get up.
Just 5 more minutes.
Hey, asshole. Get up.
Fine, I'm up.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. With Reverend Scott.
If you want to join our Patreon, that'd be dope. Patreon.com/outside the cinema. Terrible.
Outside with cinnamon.
Hey there, Bill and Chris. This is Reverend Scott. I have not only started, but fully completed another holy shit segment for you this week.
I appreciate you following through.
And this week is a doozy. From quote-unquote Jordan Peele comes a quote-unquote horror thriller film called Him. No quotes on that. That's the actual title.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you've seen the near constant trailers pumped through the airwaves on this, you may be asking yourself,
All right, what the fuck is this about?
well, damn it, I was about to get to that. Fresh off his box office failure role as Teddy, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, the remake, returns Tyreek Withers, this time as 27-year-old high school football star Cameron Cade, a.k.a. Cam. Cam and his family, especially his father, have religiously watched the fictitious football team, the San Antonio Saviors. They have a shrine to the team in their living room and everything. You know, normal shit. And much like the real Patriots have their star quarterback, Tom Brady, I think I looked it up, the Saviors have their own star quarterback, Isaiah White, played rather convincingly by Marlon Wayans. You know, the Scary Movie in Living Color guy. Yeah, him. Wait, that's the name of the movie. Anyways, Isaiah is affectionately referred to by all characters as the GOAT ad nauseum. Cam watches Isaiah score a winning touchdown as he breaks his leg and bones sticking out and all. It's all bloody and just right there, right in the middle of the TV screen. And Cam's dad is using this as a teaching moment. He won't let Cam look away from the screen. You gotta learn about sacrifice or some shit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Absolutely.
And you'd think an injury like that in football would be career-ending. Well, not for the GOAT. How could you possibly think that? Take a hike, you absolute buffoon.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
He not only returns as quarterback, but Isaiah wins like 8 more championships in a row. But now, everyone is talking about his imminent retirement and how Cam could be the most likely replacement. By this point, Cam's dad has passed away, so Cam is practicing harder than ever before, trying to get that out of his mind, but also to honor his father, because his dad was oddly obsessed with him becoming the GOAT. But while practicing in the high school field, purposefully hitting the goalposts with his passes, a very large, dark, masked figure slowly rises behind Cam, wearing some sort of mascot outfit with horns, and he smashes Cam over the head with a blunt object. Cam awakens in the hospital, multiple staples in his skull. The x-rays look like shit, and the doctors are talking about how dangerous football might be for him until he's fully healed. But Cam ain't got time to worry about no fucking massive head wounds. He's preparing for the Combine, the televised event to showcase all the rising talents for scouts to drool over. But after a dizzying scene of his mom and his agent and his brother all arguing about what he should or shouldn't do, should he do the Combine, should he not, Cam realizes
that won't happen.
And he just fucking leaves and goes to a party, feeling like his career just got tackled in his own end zone. But in a Hail Mary play, Cam's agent calls with an opportunity of a lifetime. Isaiah White himself wants Cam to come to his football compound / weird bunker home in the desert and do exclusive weirdo training with him for a whole week. His agent is like,
how's that? Is that good?
That's pretty good, man. Yeah, not bad at all.
So Cam is off to the multi-million-dollar compound of the GOAT himself, and here's where things start to get really weird. From the moment Cam arrives, we already know this place is wacky. There's people in full body paint and costumes outside of the front gates, basically worshiping Isaiah. One woman spits on the window of the SUV Cam is riding in, lashing out at the thought of somebody ever replacing her GOAT Isaiah. So that was nice. From here, we get daily title cards of which day it is and what that day's lesson was meant to be, whether it be leadership or responsibility or whatever the fuck. Usually that just means it's a new mind game or gaslighting event Isaiah is going to put Cam through. From a passing test where he has to do it in 2 seconds each time, and if he doesn't, then this guy has a football shot point blank through a passing machine right into his face until he's all fucking bruised and bloody and on the floor, to being seduced by Isaiah's girlfriend and then being held at gunpoint by Isaiah asking if he slept with her, only to have Isaiah tell him he should have no remorse to anyone about anything he does ever. You never know what's real, a mind game, or some fucked up vision Cam may be having based on those daily shots of some red liquid that Isaiah's live-in doctor gives Cam every day to quote-unquote invigorate him. One thing is clear.
Hey, there's some stuff going on here.
And the whole time, Marlon Wayans is screaming and acting his ass off in every scene. He can be a bit goofy sometimes, but switches to serious in a heartbeat. And unlike Chris Rock trying to be serious in the movie Spiral, Marlon actually pulls this off. He's actually believable as a self-obsessed football star turned psychopathic coach. It's some of the better content in the film, although Cam's reactions weren't always very consistent. Sometimes he'd act shocked and so super concerned about what he just did or who got hurt, and sometimes he was just oddly okay with everything going on, even though it may have involved potentially a murder. I would have freaked the fuck out basically every day.
And I'm just like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
This is way more than I expected it to be.
If Act 1 is the build-up to this week-long football camp for psychos, Act 2 is the actual week-long training / mindfuck events, and Act 3 is the prestige.
So I don't know what happened.
Well, I can't talk much about Act 3 without really going into spoilers. I'll just say that Cam may have been chosen as Isaiah's replacement for much longer than he had ever realized. And there's a lot of powerful forces with some borderline supernatural motivations behind the scenes involved in what comes off like a football elite conspiracy. That may sound appealing to you by how I just described it, but keep in mind, I had to discuss this with my buddy for like 10 minutes afterwards to decide what actually was going on.
So I don't know what happened.
You may think of other movies that have taken a basic scenario and added a supernatural twist to them, kind of like Starry Eyes or Ready or Not, and think, wow, this is going to be great. But here's where him fumbles at the 1-yard line. Sometimes it's funny. Jim Jeffries as the doctor is borderline hilarious. He's constantly telling Cam to run, and you think it's a joke until it's not. Sometimes it's funny in a dark way, but things start to get very dark. The consequences get very serious, and then there's just no turning back. Him still tries to bounce between comedy, horror, shock, suspense, and oddly enough, artistic flair, but I feel like it passes a point where it shouldn't try more humor, but it does anyway.
It gets really dark, and then they try to bring some of the lightheartedness back into it. I'm like, it just doesn't work. And I'm like, you need to stay dark here with where you're taking this.
The artistic flares are also jarring and sometimes feels pretentious. Art for the sake of art. It's a well-shot film, but it feels scatterbrained at times. It can't quite pick a tone and stick with it. The horror is intercepted by incoherent art. I tried my best to decipher some of the artistic choices, but when I tried to articulate it, all I could come up with was,
well,
I just wish they had leaned into the things going on behind the scenes more, explained a bit more about the motivations of some of these powerful leaders in the league, and maybe how this all started back in the day. Imagine watching Cabin in the Woods and they just never explained anything about why they were doing what they were doing to those people in that cabin.
Yeah, and that was my issue. My biggest issue is the lack of mythology that comes along with this.
I said this was a Jordan Peele flick in quotes because he only produced it. And based on what I saw, that's literally all he did. It just didn't have that special something that he tends to add to his films. After this ended, my buddy left the theater before the credits even started rolling and was pissed off at the movie. I wasn't quite that sour on it, but he's certainly not alone. Rotten Tomatoes is rocking a 29% right now.
And I can see why people will be like, yeah, I'm all fucking set with this.
Even though I expected a trippy football film, I didn't expect it to go some of the places this goes. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm all for massive bloodbath scenes in films, but I want it to be like a payoff or feel rewarding. And when it happens in him, it just feels like it was there because they wanted it to happen regardless of the story supporting it or not. Overall, I don't really recommend him, and I give it, I'll be nice and say a C-. Well, that's all I got for my review, but how did you guys do last week? All I could think about when you discussed Dead Calm was how I wish that Billy Zane and Sam Neill's parts had been reversed. I love to see him as the psycho in things.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
My interest was piqued, as well as my penis, and I give Dead Calm a B+. And the review? That gets a B+ as well. And as far as The Revenant, not the one with the bear unfortunately, seemed like it was mostly a good film with great special effects, and it was definitely well shot by a great cinematographer.
Obviously, he did the cinematography on the greatest film of all time, Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2.
Okay, yeah.
Too bad it just couldn't stick the landing. So I give The Revenant a B-, but the review gets a straight B. All right, that's about all I have for now. So until the next football horror conspiracy theory art film, peace and love, guys.
But don't forget about my anniversary, October 21st.
Right. 10 days before Halloween.
Right.
October 21st.
Right. But Don't Forget to Leave is getting released this fall. Hopefully, in the month of October. But I'm going to be celebrating my anniversary October 21st.
Well, that's really great that it'll be released in the same month that the day of your anniversary is. Did you say that was October 11th?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I said it was October 21st.
See? Right.
No, but it's my anniversary is October 21st.
Nice.
That truly is. I mean, most of you can probably pick up what I'm putting down here.
If this is your subtle way of bringing attention to my 16th wedding anniversary on October 10th, then thank you.
No. All right, that does it for us. Another week in the can. Thank you guys for listening to the show.
Yeah, that's what we say.
Yeah, patreon.com/outside the cinema. Join up there if you're not already. We would appreciate it. Helps keep the show alive. You can follow Chris and I on Instagram and those places at Cthulhu, at OTC Bill, and make sure you check out spectopiaarts.com. That's SPECTOPIAARTS. I get that right?
Yes, you did.
SpectopiaArts.com.
Nice. Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
If you've bought anything, tag us if you have a picture of us wearing the shirt where you put your stickers, whatever. Let's I want to start up a collection.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week with more film reviews. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Games.